Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are here today with Council Vice President Sharon Green Middleton and our Fire Chief Niles Ford. Good morning. On October 11th, 2020, we received multiple reports of an explosion in the 4300 block of Lanier Avenue. Although no fatalities were reported, the devastation is still fresh in our minds. The devastation of the homes destroyed, the devastation of 11 families who were impacted, not knowing where to begin to pick up the pieces. But also, I remember witnessing the community that banded together to support those who were impacted and to support each other. I remember the bravery and immediate response of our first responders, specifically our firefighters who worked for hours clearing debris and ensuring the fire was under control. I am amazed and internally grateful for the work they did and continue to do to support this community and our city. I also have to mention the role that the community organizations played. The following organizations were extremely important in the recovery and response to the Lanier explosion in October. Park Heights Renaissance, the Park Lane Neighborhood Association, which is the local neighborhood association, Edgecombe Elementary School, who opened their cafeteria for collecting and distributing supplies, City Health Department, who did COVID screening for everyone coming for resources, Housing Department, the J.D. Gross Rec Center, my childhood rec center, Madam Vice President, High, Red Cross, and CASA. The support of each community organization and city agency was essential in the response and recovery in the wake of this tragedy. I also want to thank our selfless residents for their donations to assist those who were impacted by this explosion. We continue to pray for the recovery of this community and will to continue to aid and encourage the healing process after this tragedy. I will now turn it over to our fire chief to address what caused the devastation that day. Mr. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Just over 4 months ago, we stood here at the 4600 block of Lanier Avenue for an explosion that destroyed 7 homes. While this incident caused severe damage to the homes in this community, I was relieved because lives were not lost. This incident resulted in injuries to 3 adults and to 2 children, who have all since recovered at this time. To that end, after months of investigation, the origin has been determined. Our investigators determined that all indicators point the origin was a closet where the gas meter was located in the front of 4633 Lanier Avenue. The homes that were damaged were 4639, 4637, 4635, 4633, 4631, 4629, 4627. From the investigations, the origin of the fire was located again at 4633 Lanier Avenue, which consequently caused the explosion. It seems like it was just yesterday when this all happened. And I can recall how our firefighters worked tirelessly and diligently through the night and into the early morning to extinguish the fire and to ensure the safety of others. Again, because all indications point again to the origin of the location being at 4633 in that front room where the gas meter was located. We are incredibly thankful that lives were not claimed in this incident. As I said back in October, and I'll say it again today, we truly appreciate the efforts from our partners at the American Red Cross, BGE, the Edgecombe Circle Elementary School, and the Baltimore Police Department. As Mayor Scott stated, this deeply impacted the residents in this community, and we will continue to pray for the injured and those who lost their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chief. We'll now hear from the Council Vice President. Madam Vice President.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. And I just want to reiterate the thank yous. There are so many individuals in this community that stepped up just to help these families that were suffering. The mayor and his administration, the fire department, the mayor went down the list, and we just, on behalf of the community, we can't thank the city and everyone enough for reaching out to these wonderful people. It's all about the safety of our citizens, and the city and the mayor and his administration just did a phenomenal job in reaching out and helping these victims, because that's what they are. They were victims of a terrible tragedy that happened, and it just shows how we stick together in Baltimore, and we will continue to stick together and help each other.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Now we take a few questions.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys can provide any insight on what might have gone awry with the gas meter in the home. And additionally, officials originally sort of hesitated to call this an explosion. Can you explain sort of what happened with that?
Well, the question was, I'll start with the last question. The last question was that we hesitated to call it a gas explosion initially because we didn't have the facts to assume that was the case. We wanted to investigate and make certain that was the case. We even had people located not far from here that didn't necessarily feel an explosion. So we wanted to make sure we were thorough in our investigation. The other point that she asked for the specific cause. I'm giving you the actual location. I'm telling you that there was a gas meter also located in that closet. We were not able to gather all the data off that gas meter to come conclusive on that one.
So just to follow up, you don't know if it was a gas meter malfunction?
That would be correct. I can give you the location. I can tell you what was there.
Can you say whether or not residents had been smelling gas or if they had complained about gas before this incident?
We went back and evaluated the calls. Did you want to speak? Okay, yeah, we went back and evaluated the calls on that day. We had no calls on that day pertaining to gas.
Dave, Channel 2. In relation to the gas meter, what role, if any, has BG&E played in response to finding those meter readings? Because the last major explosion we had, they were able to pinpoint a lot of information, but we're hearing right now you don't quite have the readings. So can you give us detailed information about what BG&E is doing to help facilitate this investigation?
Well, they've certainly participated by offering information, but they, according to BG&E, they were unable to get information off at least 3 of the meters. And one of those meters was from the point of origin.
In relation to the meter location, when you say closet, was it a utility closet or a closet inside of an apartment that may have been improperly located?
It's a closet located inside the apartment. It has a party wall, meaning that it has a wall separating the 2 residences. And the meters between those 2 residents, I think, are back to each other between the party walls.
Is that properly up to code, or was there some type of, I don't want to say illegal, but was it not done properly? Because I don't normally hear of a gas meter reader inside of an apartment closet.
And after this, we'll have time for one last question, and that's it.
Where the closet where the meters were located is where they are supposed to be, and they are up to code.
Hi, I have an unrelated question for the mayor. I don't know if you want me to wait until
Not here.
Afterwards.
We're talking about a tragedy. We don't have time for unrelated questions. Thank you all.
Wait, do you have one related to it?
I just,
Wait, we have one question related to the tragedy?
yeah, I was just going to ask, you stated that the victims recovered. Can you speak at all to kind of the extent of their injuries and recovery process at this time?
Yeah. We had a few that were critical at the time, but they've all since recovered, and they all are at home doing very well.